I know it really seems lately like everything is just going so far off the rails it can't be brought back, but we need to understand the preliminary shit is what's hitting the news. The stuff that people plan on doing is what's hitting the news. But there's a lot of roadblocks between the plans and the implementation. Now we need to recognize also that he has been planning this for a long time, as has his cohorts in the Heritage Foundation and everything else. And they created just enough controversy to wiggle its way through all the shit it wiggled its way through. Now the problem that we have at the moment is the realization has been going too slow on the Republican side, from the people in power in Congress and Senate to the people who are actually still holding out, defending everything, which is fucking pathetic at this point. But anyway, everyone learns at their own pace. The teacher appears when the student is ready. So when we're looking at all of this stuff and the kickbacks from Harvard and the schools and the attacks on that, the attacks on what he wants to deport, the attacks on everything else, the SAVE Act sliding through, there is so many different things that have been forced under the radar because of the loud noise around the radar that we don't even realize that everything's moving forward towards the attacks on women's rights. That is what I feel is next, hand in hand with the attacks on the Pope, the Vatican, and the Catholic religion. Whoever Trump feels he has a vendetta against, the Pope was speaking out in him, God rest his soul. And the last official meeting the Pope had in his life, sadly, was J.D. Vance. There's already conspiracies all over the place. Shut the fuck up with that. We got to focus on the facts and the big picture and recognize that that was a tragedy. That was a man who led and gave hope to billions around the world, whether you agree with Christianity, whatever. The fact of the matter is, what we need to do is make sure we don't lose focus on what's truly going on here. And this is the Trump show and the big picture. And we have players in this show like Elon Musk and the president of El Salvador and Putin and all of these other people we don't want having anything to do with the United States are tied directly in with Taylor, with Trump and the Trump administration. And that is something that the ties and the storylines go back in this show quite a bit if we isolate each and every character and we pay attention to how everything is done. So that's why I keep saying to people it's important to keep focus on the big picture. It's important to keep focus on the storylines as isolated storylines. And the easiest way to do that is through the lens of watching your TV show, how you can recall everything about Rachel and Joey and Rachel and Ross and all that other type of crap for whatever show you watched. Because that's what's going to help us through this. It is all manufactured. It is all a show. And if you watch it in that respect, you'll be able to figure out more of the storylines that are going on. And you'll be able to very easily predict where they're going next. But the distraction is the reason they're moving forward. The distraction side of it is the reason they're, as they're saying, muddy the waters and, flood the zone, as Steve Bannon so proudly plans as he discusses Trump being inaugurated once again for a third time in January 2029, loudly and proudly on Bill Maher's show. Ladies and gentlemen, these plans were things that we discussed a long time ago. We know what this man wants to do. But we need to recognize, instead of getting angry, instead of getting fearful, instead of getting violent about anything, the biggest power we have is truth, facts, kindness, unity, and the amount of people worldwide that are standing up. So instead of going down any rabbit holes, getting pissed off, starting fights with people on our own team, instead of causing drama on the side of the fence that's trying to keep this unified and strong and standing and growing and everything else, we need to understand that it is time, beyond the most important point in every single country's history, but especially the history of these already great United States, that we stand together, that we actually show what unity means. that this entire world stand shoulder to shoulder and recognize no matter what, we are all in it together. Because that's the ultimate truth. No matter what color, no matter what nation, no matter what language you speak, anything, it matters. So please, ladies and gentlemen, focus on what's important. Focus on community, focus on communication, and focus on letting people around the world know that true Americans did not want this, did not vote for this, and are actively fighting against it. So please join them hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, worldwide, across every pond, coast to coast, in every direction. Get involved. Call your senators. Call your congressperson. If there's a town hall near you, stand up and let your voice be heard, peacefully, intelligently, because we don't need anything else. They haven't been able to declare martial law, and it's driving them nuts that we can have this many millions and millions of people worldwide get together more and more, bigger and bigger, louder and louder, without any incidents. So while you're at these protests, if you see anything happening, you film. You film from every direction like Martin fucking Scorsese. You make sure you get every angle, every shadow, and every identifying mark of everybody involved. And you, like TikTok and all these wonderful online communities that have formed since all this bullshit started, do what they do best. Call people out, expose them for the truth. And we do this, and we stand united, and we gather country by country, voice by voice, accent by beautiful fucking accent. We could shove it up every single one of these dictators' asses. And we could take not only our country, America, back, but we could do that worldwide, without violence, self-defense if necessary. But in our numbers, we're not even going to need it. But we need to stand strong. We need to stand united. And we need to drop all this little petty shit we've been fighting about for the last 10 fucking years. We need to look each other in the eye and say, we got each other. We got you, brother and sister. Especially the women. Because they're about to get hit next. With all the Project 2025, all the Project 47, all the schedule, whatever, all the secret little handshake manuals the Red School has, women are about to get hit with. And men, it's time to give them an actual contemplation about the bear. Let's make them think twice. Let's earn it. Let's protect them, no matter what's happened in our past. Because, yeah, let's learn from our mistakes. Stay diligent, stay educated, and be kind. We are all in this together. Coast to coast, across every pond. We got you. We love you.